Admiral Sarah Chen stood alone in the empty council chamber. The massive room that once held thousands of alien delegates was now silent. Only the cold metal walls witnessed her quiet anger. "They thought removing Earth would make us weak," she whispered to herself. They were so very wrong. 3 hours earlier, the Galaxy Council had made the biggest mistake in their history. The council meeting. The great station Alpha Prime floated in deep space. Inside its main hall, representatives from 48 different worlds sat in their special chairs. Each alien species looked different. Some had blue skin, others had 4 arms. Some breathed different gases, others had big eyes like insects. At the center of the room, Earth's ambassador David Martinez stood at a simple podium. He was just a normal human. 2 arms, 2 legs, brown hair going gray. Next to the strange aliens, he looked very ordinary. "Honored council members," Martinez said in his calm voice. "Earth requests better trade agreements. Our colonies need more resources. Our people want to explore new worlds." The room erupted in laughter. The Zephyrian delegate, a tall blue creature with tentacles for arms, stood up. "Humans think they deserve what we have earned over thousands of years. Your species is barely 200 years in space," added the insect-like Vorton representative. "We have been traveling between stars for 10,000 years." More laughter filled the chamber. Martinez stood quietly, his face showing no emotion. "You are too young," said another alien. "Too violent, too primitive for true galactic citizenship." The Galactic Chancellor, an ancient being with golden skin, raised his hand for silence. "The Council has discussed this matter for many cycles. Earth's aggressive nature and rapid expansion concerns many members." Martinez stepped forward. "What aggression? We have never started a war with any Council member. We trade fairly. We follow all galactic laws." "Your species fights among themselves," the Chancellor replied. "You have weapons. You build military ships. This shows your true nature." "Every species here has military forces," Martinez said. "Even you." "We have evolved beyond our violent past," the blue Zephyrian delegate said proudly. "Humans still carry the savage instincts of their primitive world." The Chancellor stood up. All talking stopped. "The Galactic Council will now vote. Should Earth remain a member of our peaceful alliance?" One by one, the alien delegates pressed buttons on their chairs. Red lights appeared. Rejection. Martinez watched as 47 red lights filled the giant display screen. Only one green light appeared. "Earth's own vote." "The vote is 47 against, 1 in favor," the Chancellor announced. "Earth is hereby removed from the Galactic Council. All trade agreements are cancelled. All joint projects are ended. Earth has 30 standard days to remove all personnel from Council space." The chamber fell silent. Martinez looked around the room at faces that showed no pity, no regret, just cold satisfaction. He picked up his small briefcase and walked toward the exit. His footsteps echoed in the huge chamber. At the door, he stopped and turned around. "You will regret this decision," he said quietly. "Humanity remembers its friends, and we remember our enemies even better." Then he was gone. Back on Earth, President Elena Vasquez sat in the Oval Office, staring at the communication screen. Martinez's face looked tired but determined. "They really did it," she said. 47-1. "Yes, Madam President. We are officially exiled." Vasquez stood up and walked to the window. Outside, she could see the lights of Washington, D.C. Somewhere in the distance, she knew millions of humans were living their normal lives. They had no idea their government had just been humiliated by alien powers. "David, how long before this news reaches the public?" "The Council will announce it in 6 hours. They want maximum embarrassment for us." President Vasquez smiled for the first time that day. "Then we have 6 hours to show them their mistake." She pressed a button on her desk. "Get me Admiral Chen immediately." Within minutes, Sarah Chen appeared on the screen. Behind her, Martinez could see what looked like a military command center. "Admiral, is Project Independence ready?" Chen's face remained serious, but her eyes showed excitement. "We've been ready for 3 years, Madam President. Just waiting for your order, then give the order. Full activation, understood. All units. This is Admiral Chen. Authorization code, Rising Phoenix. Project Independence is now active. Repeat, Rising Phoenix is active. The awakening across Earth's solar system, things began to move. On the dark side of Earth's moon, massive doors opened in what looked like empty craters. Giant ships rose into space, ships bigger and more advanced than anything the Council had ever seen. Under the ice of Europa, Jupiter's moon, an entire fleet activated their engines. The ice cracked and broke as dozens of warships emerged. In the asteroid belt, what aliens had thought were just rocks suddenly turned on bright lights. They were not rocks at all. They were hidden military bases. On Mars, underground factories that had been secret for 50 years began working at full power. Robot workers built new ships, new weapons, new technology that the galaxy had never seen. Admiral Chen stood on the bridge of her flagship, the UES Defiance. Through the windows, she could see hundreds of other ships forming up in perfect lines. Communications, send a message to all human colonies, she ordered. Tell them the exile protocol is now in effect. Full independence. No more council oversight. Yes, Admiral. Signal sent. Navigation set course for the outer rim. It's time to show our exiled colonies they're not alone. Course laid in, Admiral. All ships, this is Admiral Chen. Today, the Galaxy Council made us outcasts. They think this will make us weak and desperate. She paused, looking out at her vast fleet. They're about to learn what happens when you corner humanity. They wanted us gone from their council? Fine, we'll build our own, and it will be stronger than anything they ever imagined. All ships, jump drives charging. Destination, freedom. As the human fleet disappeared in flashes of light, a small probe sent a final message back to Earth. The message was simple. Phase 1 complete. The Empire begins now. The Galaxy Council had no idea what was coming, but they would learn soon enough. Humanity was done asking for permission. The secret Earth was hiding. The Zephyrian spy satellite drifted silently near Earth's moon. For 50 years it had watched the humans with its advanced sensors. The blue-skinned aliens thought they knew everything about Earth's military power. Today, that satellite was about to discover how wrong they were. Commander Xilo sat in his monitoring station on the planet Zephyr Prime, watching the data from his spy satellite. Everything looked normal. Earth seemed quiet after yesterday's council rejection, then his screens exploded with warning lights. "What in the Seven Suns is happening?" he whispered. Energy readings were going crazy. Massive power signatures were appearing all across Earth's solar system. Ships were rising from places where no ships should exist. "This is impossible," Xilo said, his tentacles shaking as he worked his controls. "Where did all this come from?" "The hidden truth, Admiral." Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of her flagship, watching dozens of massive ships rise from the dark side of Earth's moon. Each ship was twice the size of anything in the Galaxy Council's fleet. "Admiral," said Captain Rodriguez, her second in command. "All hidden bases are reporting ready. The Council has no idea what's about to hit them." Chen smiled. 50 years of planning, Captain. 50 years of letting them think we were just simple traders." She walked to the main display screen, which showed a map of human space. Red dots marked secret bases that the Council had never discovered. There were hundreds of them. "You see, the Galaxy Council made one big mistake," Chen said to her bridge crew. "They thought they were watching us. But we were watching them." The real plant. 3 days after humanity first met alien visitors, President Harrison had called a secret meeting. Only 5 people knew about it. They met in an underground bunker beneath the White House. "They seem friendly now," President Harrison had said. "But history teaches us that powerful neighbors don't stay friendly forever." General Morrison, head of military planning, nodded. "We need insurance, sir. Something they don't know about. What do you suggest?" "We build 2 versions of humanity. The public version that trades and explores peacefully, and the hidden version that prepares for war." That was 50 years ago. Since then, every human administration had continued the secret project. They called it Project Independence. While Earth's public face showed small trading ships and peaceful colonies, the real human military grew in complete secrecy. Part 2. The secret Earth was hiding. The Zephyrian spy satellite drifted silently near Earth's moon. For 50 years it had watched the humans with its advanced sensors. The blue-skinned aliens thought they knew everything about Earth's military power. Today, that satellite was about to discover how wrong they were. Commander Xylo sat in his monitoring station on the planet Zephyr Prime, watching the data from his spy satellite. Everything looked normal. Earth seemed quiet after yesterday's council rejection, then his screens exploded with warning lights. "What in the Seven Suns is happening?" he whispered. Energy readings were going crazy. Massive power signatures were appearing all across Earth's solar system. Ships were rising from places where no ships should exist. "This is impossible," Xylo said, his tentacles shaking as he worked his controls. Where did all this come from? The hidden Truth Admiral Sarah Chen stood on the bridge of her flagship, watching dozens of massive ships rise from the dark side of Earth's moon. Each ship was twice the size of anything in the Galaxy Council's fleet. "Admiral," said Captain Rodriguez, her second in command, "all hidden bases are reporting ready. The Council has no idea what's about to hit them." Chen smiled.
50 years of planning, Captain.
50 years of letting them think we were just simple traders. She walked to the main display screen, which showed a map of human space. Red dots marked secret bases that the Council had never discovered. There were hundreds of them. "You see, the Galaxy Council made one big mistake," Chen said to her bridge crew. "They thought they were watching us, but we were watching them." The real plan, 3 days after humanity first met alien visitors, President Harrison had called a secret meeting. Only 5 people knew about it. They met in an underground bunker beneath the White House. "They seem friendly now," President Harrison had said. "But history teaches us that powerful neighbors don't stay friendly forever." General Morrison, head of military planning, nodded. "We need insurance, sir. Something they don't know about. What do you suggest?" "We build 2 versions of humanity. The public version that trades and explores peacefully, and the hidden version that prepares for war." That was 50 years ago. Since then, every human administration had continued the secret project. They called it Project Independence. While Earth's public face showed small trading ships and peaceful colonies, the real human military grew in complete secrecy. The hidden bases, Captain Lisa Park commanded the lunar base Darkness Falls. For 20 years, she had lived inside the moon, building ships and training crews. The Council's spy satellites had no idea she existed. "All right, people," she announced to her crew. 50 years of hiding is over. Time to show the galaxy what human engineering really looks like. Around her, massive hangar doors opened for the first time. Ships that had been built in complete darkness now saw starlight. Each vessel carried technology that was decades ahead of anything the Council possessed. On Europa, Jupiter's ice moon, Admiral Martinez commanded an even bigger secret. Entire cities had been built under the ice. Thousands of humans lived and worked there, building the most advanced fleet in the galaxy. "Surface teams, begin ice-breaking procedures," Martinez ordered. "Let's introduce ourselves to our alien friends." The ice cracked and exploded upward as massive ships pushed through. Steam filled the space around Jupiter as the hidden fleet emerged. In the asteroid belt, Commander Sarah Kim watched her disguised bases come to life. What aliens had thought were just floating rocks were actually fully armed military stations. "Stealth fields deactivating," she reported. "All asteroid bases now visible. I think we're going to give some aliens heart attacks." The intelligence network, but the ships were only part of the secret. For 50 years, humans had also built the best spy network in the galaxy, Dr. James. Liu ran that network from a hidden base on Mars. His agents were everywhere, even inside the Galaxy Council itself. "Admiral Chen," he reported over secure communication. "Our people inside the Council are sending updates. The aliens are in total panic. They're calling emergency meetings." "Good," Chen replied. "Let them panic. What about their military?" "That's the beautiful part, Admiral. They've been so peaceful for so long, most Council worlds barely have any military left. They depend on others for protection. And now those others are wondering if they want to fight humanity." "Exactly. Our psychological profiles were correct. These aliens have been comfortable for too long. They've forgotten how to fight." The first move, Chen made her decision. All fleet commanders, this is Admiral Chen, begin Operation Shutdown. Across the galaxy, human forces moved with perfect coordination. But they weren't attacking anyone. Instead, they were cutting off the galaxy's economy. Every human colony stopped sending rare minerals to Council worlds. Human trade ships simply disappeared from all major trade routes. Space stations run by human corporations went dark. On the Council world of Vorthak, Minister Glix watched his planet's economy collapse in real time. The humans control 60% of our dilithium supply, his economic advisor reported. Without it, our power grid will fail in 3 days. What about other suppliers? The humans bought exclusive contracts with all major suppliers 20 years ago. We never thought it was important. Glix's insect-like eyes went wide. They've been planning this for decades. The same story played out on world after world. The Council had let humans become essential to their economy. Now those humans were gone. The message on the third day of the shutdown, Admiral Chen sent a message to every world in the galaxy. Her face appeared on screens everywhere, even in the Galaxy Council chamber itself. People of the galaxy, she began. 3 days ago, your leaders exiled Earth from their council. They called us too violent, too primitive, too young. She paused, letting her words sink in. Today, you are learning the truth. For 50 years, we have been the foundation of your economy. We have protected your trade routes. We have supplied your energy needs. Behind her, images showed the massive human fleet now fully revealed. Your leaders thought removing us would make you safer. Instead, they have created the very thing they feared, an independent human empire. The camera moved to show hundreds of advanced human ships. We are not your enemies. We never were, but we will no longer ask permission to exist in this galaxy. The alien response in the Galaxy Council chamber. Chaos had replaced the calm dignity of 3 days ago. Alien representatives shouted at each other in dozens of languages. How did we not know about this? Demanded the Vorthan delegate. Our intelligence services reported only small human forces, replied the Zephyrian commander. Chancellor Thex stood up, his golden skin now pale with worry. The question is not how we missed this. The question is what we do now. We demand they return to their previous status. Shouted someone from the back. With what army? Asked another voice. Look at those ships. Each one is bigger than our entire defense fleet. Perhaps, said the quiet voice of Elder Morix, the oldest being in the council. We should ask ourselves why they felt the need to hide this from us. The chamber fell silent. What do you mean, Elder? Asked Chancellor Thex. If they wanted to conquer us, they would have done it 50 years ago when we were even weaker. Instead, they hid their strength and tried to work with us peacefully. Elder Morix's ancient eyes looked around the chamber. Perhaps the humans are not the primitive savages we believed them to be. Perhaps they are exactly what they claim, a people who wanted to be our friends, but were prepared for the day we became their enemies. The cliffhanger Admiral Chen stood in her command center, watching reports come in from across the galaxy. Her plan was working perfectly, Admiral, reported her intelligence officer. 17 council worlds are requesting private meetings. They want to discuss joining our new alliance. And the council's response? They're trying to form a military coalition against us. But most worlds are afraid to commit their forces. Chen nodded. Phase 1 is complete. Begin Phase 2. Yes, Admiral. What are your orders? Chen smiled as she looked at the star map. Soon those stars would fly under a new flag. Not through conquest, but through choice. Send word to all human commanders. Operation Sanctuary begins now. It's time to show the galaxy what a real alliance looks like. Outside the command center, mysterious new ships began to move toward council space. But these ships weren't carrying weapons. They were carrying something far more dangerous to the old order. They were carrying hope. When humans strike back. The Zephyrian cargo ship Blue Dawn was carrying medical supplies to the colony world of Nexus Prime. Captain Vex had made this run 100 times before. It was supposed to be safe, boring work. Today it would change his life forever. Captain. His navigator shouted. Unknown ships dropping out of hyperspace. 3 vessels closing fast. Captain Vex looked at his screens. The ships were unlike anything he had ever seen. They were sleek, black, and moved like hunting animals. "This is impossible," he whispered. "There are no hostile forces in this sector." His communications officer turned pale. "Captain, they're hailing us." "Put them through." A human face appeared on the screen. The woman wore a uniform Vex didn't recognize, and her eyes were cold, but not cruel. "Attention, Zephyrian vessel. This is Captain Sarah Kim of Earth Space Command. Cut your engines and prepare to be boarded." "Earth Space Command." Vex was confused. "But Earth was exiled from the Council. You have no authority here." "We have the only authority that matters, Captain. Superior firepower. Shut down your engines now." Vex looked at his crew. His ship had no weapons. These human vessels could destroy them in seconds. "Engines shutting down," he said quietly. The new rules 20 minutes later. Captain Kim stepped onto the bridge of the Blue Dawn. She was not what Captain Vex expected. Instead of a brutal conqueror, she seemed calm and professional. "Captain Vex," she said, reading from a data pad. "Your cargo manifest shows medical supplies for Nexus Prime. Is this correct?" "Yes," Vex replied nervously. "Basic medicines, nothing dangerous." "Good. Your crew will not be harmed. Your ship will not be damaged. But your cargo is now confiscated." "What?" "Those medicines are for sick colonists." Captain Kim looked up from her pad. "The Council worlds cut off all trade with human colonies. Some of our people are dying because they can't get these same medicines." She paused, letting that sink in. "Your cargo will be delivered to human colonies that need it. In exchange, your crew will be taken to the nearest human base, fed, housed, and treated well until this situation is resolved." Captain Vex stared at her. "You're taking us prisoner. We prefer the term protective custody. You'll be safer with us than trying to explain to your government how you lost a cargo ship to humans." The broadcast Admiral Chen stood in her command center, watching reports from dozens of similar operations across the galaxy. Human ships were capturing alien cargo vessels everywhere, but not a single alien had been killed. "Status report," she ordered. "Operation Sanctuary is exceeding expectations," reported Captain Rodriguez. "We've captured 47 cargo ships, 8 passenger vessels, and 12 minor military escorts. 0 casualties on either side." "What about the cargo?" "Medical supplies are being distributed to our colonies. Food shipments are going to refugee camps. Military equipment is being studied by our engineers." Chen nodded. "And the prisoners?" "All being treated according to the Geneva Convention. Many are expressing surprise at how well they're being treated." "Good. Begin broadcasting phase 2 of the message." The message Chen's face appeared on screens throughout the galaxy. This time she stood in front of a large window showing captured alien crews eating dinner with human officers. "People of the galaxy," she began. "For 1 week now, Earth forces have been intercepting Council trade ships. We have captured hundreds of vessels and thousands of crew members." The camera showed aliens and humans talking together, sharing meals, even laughing. "As you can see, every person we have captured is alive, healthy, and safe. They are our guests, not our prisoners." She walked closer to the camera. "Your council leaders told you we were violent savages. They said we would destroy everything in our path. Look around you. Do you see destruction? Or do you see restraint?" The image changed to show human ships helping repair a damaged alien vessel. "We could have destroyed every ship we encountered. Instead, we chose to show mercy. We chose to prove that humans can be trusted with power." The alien response on the council world of Vorthak, Minister Glix watched the human broadcast with growing amazement. In his office, his advisors argued about what to do. "They're making us look like fools," said his military advisor. "We told our people the humans were dangerous, but they're acting more civilized than we are." "Maybe," said Glix slowly. "We were wrong about them." "Sir, look at this footage. When was the last time any council military force showed this much restraint? When was the last time we treated prisoners this well?" His advisors fell silent. Similar conversations were happening on dozens of council worlds. The humans were not behaving like the monsters they had been described as. The defection Captain Vex sat in the dining hall of the human base called Haven Station. Around him, other captured aliens ate human food and talked quietly among themselves. A human officer, Lieutenant Torres, sat down across from him. "How's the food, Captain?" "Better than I expected," Vex admitted. "My crew hasn't eaten this well in months. Council rations have been getting smaller, we noticed. Your government has been cutting food supplies to outer colonies while spending money on luxury items for the core worlds." Vex looked uncomfortable. "How do you know that?" "We've been watching, Captain. We know things your own people don't know." Torres leaned forward. "Can I ask you something? When your government told you humans were violent savages, did you believe them?" Yes, everyone believed it. And now?" Vex looked around the dining hall. Human and alien crew members were playing cards together at one table. At another, a human doctor was checking on a sick Zephyrian navigator. "Now, I think maybe we were told lies." Torres nodded. "Captain, what if I told you that you don't have to go back? What if I told you that your crew could join us and help build something better?" "Join you? But we're aliens, so?" "Half our colonies are already mixed populations. Humans, Zephyrians, Vorthans, Centaurians, all working together. Your colonies accept aliens." "Captain, we judge people by their actions, not their species. Your crew has shown us nothing but cooperation and honor. You're exactly the kind of people we want as citizens." Vex was quiet for a long moment. "What would we have to do?" "Help us show the galaxy that the old council system is broken. Help us build a new alliance based on fairness instead of fear." The offer. That night, Admiral Chen made another broadcast. This time, she spoke directly to the captured crews. "Ladies, gentlemen, and beings of all species," she began. "You came here as prisoners, but I want to offer you something different." She gestured to the mixed crew members behind her. "Join us, not as conquered peoples, but as equal partners. Help us build a new galactic order where species don't matter, only character." The camera showed alien families living peacefully in human colonies. "We offer you citizenship in the Earth Alliance. Full rights, full protection, full opportunity. Your children will grow up free from the corruption and inequality of the old council system." She paused. "The choice is yours. Return to your old lives under leaders who see you as disposable resources, or stay and help us create something better." The shock in the Galaxy Council chamber. Chancellor Thex stared at the broadcast with growing horror. "They're offering citizenship to our people," he said weakly. "It's worse than that," reported his intelligence chief. "Preliminary reports suggest that 60% of the captured crews are accepting the offer." 60%. And it's getting worse. We're receiving requests from entire colonies asking to join this Earth Alliance. Chancellor Thex collapsed into his chair. "How did this happen? We had them exiled. We had them isolated." Elder Morik spoke from his corner of the chamber. "Perhaps, Chancellor, they were never the ones who were isolated." "What do you mean?" "Perhaps we were the ones living in isolation. Isolated from the reality of what good leadership looks like." The build-up, Admiral Chen stood on the bridge of her flagship, watching her fleet grow larger every day. Ships that had once belonged to the Council were now flying human flags, crewed by mixed-species teams. "Admiral," reported Captain Rodriguez, "intelligence suggests the Council is finally organizing a military response. They're gathering every remaining loyal ship." "How many?" "Approximately 2,000 vessels. The largest fleet they've ever assembled." Chen smiled grimly. "They still don't understand, do they?" "Understand what, Admiral?" "This was never about military power. This was about showing the galaxy who deserves to lead it." She turned to her communications officer. "Send a message to the Council fleet. Tell them we're waiting for them at the Kepler station coordinates." "And if they refuse to negotiate?" Admiral Chen looked out at her fleet. Ships of every design and species flew together under the Earth Alliance flag. "Then we'll show them what a united galaxy can do when it fights for freedom instead of fighting for control." The largest space battle in galactic history was about to begin, but it would not be the kind of battle anyone expected. Part 4. The Empire Grows Stronger. The message arrived at Galaxy Council headquarters at exactly noon. Chancellor Thex read it 3 times before he believed what he was seeing. "Sir?" his assistant said nervously. "The delegation from Centauri Prime is here. They're the third world this week requesting to join the Earth Alliance." Thex crumpled the message in his golden hands. "Send them away." We don't negotiate with traitors. Sir, they control the main hyperspace route to the outer rim. If they join the humans, I said send them away, but it was too late. Half the galaxy was already gone. The growing Alliance Admiral Chen stood in the command center of New Geneva, humanity's massive mobile space station. Through the giant windows, she could see hundreds of ships from dozens of different species, all flying the blue and white flag of the Earth Alliance. Status report, she ordered. Captain Rodriguez smiled as he read from his datapad. 26 worlds have officially joined the Alliance. 43 more have requested membership. Our fleet now includes ships from 15 different species. What about resources? We control 60% of the galaxy's trade routes, 70% of rare mineral production, and 80% of food distribution networks. Chen nodded with satisfaction. And we achieved all this without firing a single shot in anger. The Council is calling us pirates and terrorists, Rodriguez reported. Let them. Actions speak louder than words. How are our new citizens adjusting? Better than we hoped. Mixed crews are working together perfectly. The former Council colonies that joined us are reporting higher living standards than they've had in decades. The breaking point on the Council world of Zephyr Prime. Commander Xilo watched his planet slowly die. Food shipments had stopped coming. Power grids were failing without human-supplied energy crystals. Riots were starting in the major cities. His communication console beeped. Another message from the humans, people of Zephyr Prime, came the familiar voice of Admiral Chen. Your government has refused all offers of peaceful cooperation. They would rather see you suffer than admit they were wrong. The message continued. Earth Alliance relief ships are waiting at your system's edge. We carry food, medicine, and energy supplies. We ask for nothing in return except the chance to help. Commander Xilo looked out his window at the angry crowds in the streets below. His people were starving while the Council leaders lived in luxury. He made a decision that would change everything. Open a channel to the Earth Alliance ships, he ordered. Sir, the Council forbids any communication with... The Council isn't here, Xilo said firmly. My people are dying. Open the channel. The Council's desperation in the emergency session of the Galaxy Council, chaos ruled. Only 22 worlds remained loyal, and even those were wavering. We must strike now, shouted General Corax, the Vortan military commander, before they get any stronger. With what? Demanded the delegate from Rigel. Half our fleets have defected to the humans. Chancellor Thex stood up, his golden skin now dull with stress. The humans have left us no choice. We will gather every remaining ship, every loyal crew, every weapon we have. That's barely 2,000 ships, someone protested. Then we'll make them count, Thex replied coldly. Send orders to all remaining loyal worlds. Full military mobilization. We end this human rebellion once and for all. Elder Morix, the oldest being in the Council, slowly stood up. Chancellor, may I suggest one final attempt at negotiation? Negotiation? Thex laughed bitterly. They've stolen half our territory. They've turned our own people against us. They've offered our people a better life, Morix said quietly. Perhaps we should ask ourselves why our citizens prefer human leadership to our own. Elder Morix. Thex's voice turned dangerous. If you cannot support this council's decisions, perhaps you should join your human friends. The ancient being looked around the chamber at the angry, desperate faces of the remaining council members. Perhaps I should, he said, and walked out. The Preparation Admiral Chen received the intelligence report with mixed feelings. The council was finally coming for them, but they were bringing everything they had left. 2,000 ships, she said to her senior staff. That's still a significant force. Our fleet is larger, pointed out Captain Rodriguez. We have over 3,000 vessels now. Numbers aren't everything, Captain. These council ships are desperate. Desperate enemies are dangerous enemies. Commander Sarah Kim, now in charge of fleet logistics, raised her hand. Admiral, we have an advantage they don't expect, which is our mixed crews. Every ship in their fleet is single species. They can't share tactics, can't coordinate between different ship types, can't even communicate effectively during battle. Chen smiled. While our crews have been training together for months. Exactly. Plus, we have former council officers who know all their standard tactics. Good point. What about our secret weapon project? Dr. James Liu, head of human intelligence, stepped forward. Project Unity is ready, Admiral. It's not what they're expecting at all. Explain. Instead of a superweapon designed to destroy, we've built something designed to preserve. The galaxy's first mobile peacekeeping platform. He activated a holographic display showing a massive structure unlike anything ever built. It's a diplomatic station, a refugee center, a medical facility, and a communication hub all in one. Big enough to house 1 million beings from any species. Admiral Chen stared at the hologram. They're expecting us to bring a doomsday weapon to this fight. Instead, we're bringing hope, Dr. Liu confirmed. The final offer before the Council fleet could reach human space. Admiral Chen made one last broadcast to the galaxy. People of all worlds, she began, standing in front of the massive Project Unity station. In 24 hours, the remaining Council forces will arrive to fight us. They bring weapons of war. The camera panned to show the peaceful, beautiful lines of the Unity station. We bring something different. This station represents everything the Earth Alliance stands for. Unity between species, help for those in need, a place where differences are celebrated, not feared. She looked directly into the camera. To the crews of the Council fleet, you don't have to fight. Your families are welcome here. Your children can grow up free from the hatred and fear that has poisoned the old system. The broadcast switched to show happy families of mixed species living and working together on Alliance worlds. To the Council leaders, this is your last chance. Stand down your forces, join us in building something better, or face the consequences of your choice. The approach Chancellor, Thex, stood on the bridge of his flagship, the massive dreadnought Golden Justice. Around him, the largest fleet in Council history prepared for battle. All ships report ready. Chancellor, his fleet commander announced. Good. Today we remind the galaxy who the real authority is. But even as he spoke, Thex could see ships leaving his fleet. One by one, Council vessels were breaking formation and jumping away. Sir, his navigator reported nervously, we've lost another 40 ships in the last hour. Deserters and cowards, Thex snarled. We're better off without them. But privately, he was worried. They'd started with 2,000 ships. Now they had barely 1,500. The arrival, the Council fleet dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of human territory, expecting to find a defensive line of Earth Alliance ships. Instead, they found something impossible. Sir, the fleet scanner operator whispered, you need to see this. On the main screen appeared the most beautiful sight any of them had ever seen. The Unity station hung in space like a small moon, its surface covered in parks, cities, and landing bays. Around it, ships from every species in the galaxy moved in peaceful patterns. By the 7 suns, breathed the fleet commander. That's not a weapon. That's a world. Admiral Chen's voice came over the communication system, reaching every ship in the Council fleet. Welcome to Unity Station, she said calmly. The galaxy's first mobile diplomatic center. Your families are already aboard waiting for you. What? Chancellor Thex demanded. What families? The answer came as hundreds of small ships launched from Unity Station. Each one carried messages from loved ones, from Council citizens who had already joined the Alliance. Daddy, please come home, came a child's voice over the communication system. The humans are nice. They gave me ice cream. Similar messages flooded the Council fleet. Wives calling to husbands, children calling to parents, all of them safe, happy, and asking their loved ones to stop fighting. Chancellor Thex watched his fleet fall apart around him. Ships were powering down weapons and requesting permission to dock with Unity Station. Sir, his fleet commander said quietly, perhaps it's time to consider surrender. Thex looked at the magnificent station ahead of them. He thought about his own family, probably somewhere aboard that peaceful haven. For the first time in his life, the Galaxy Council's supreme leader began to understand what he had been fighting against. It wasn't human military power. It wasn't advanced technology. It wasn't even superior numbers. It was the simple idea that people deserved to be led by those who cared about them, the moment of truth. All ships, Admiral Chen announced to both fleets, We invite you to dock with Unity Station. There will be no weapons, no guards, no prisoners. Only families reuniting and people talking. She paused.